What's up, guys? I'm here to skate. I haven't skated yet, but I wanted to make this video. Because I felt like I had some insights to share. So I guess it started when I was watching this 30-minute interview with Rodney Mullen. And you know when you take in some information or some wisdom or some knowledge and it feels like there's a chemical reaction in your body, not just like mentally, but you feel some sort of vigor has possessed you and you feel inspired to act upon whatever it is. There was so many things he said in this interview that kind of stirred that kind of reaction within me. And one of the things he said was, sometimes when you get what you want, it turns out it's not actually what you needed. And when he said that, I was thinking about that, and before I went to sleep last night, I wrote down, the flame or the ember of pursuit is extinguished by accomplishment. And that just goes, it just adds, it's in service of the idea of learn to love the process, less so the end result, because the end result isn't sustainable if you want to continue doing what it is you're doing. You have to learn to love doing because you love doing, and not to achieve something, unless what you seek to achieve is to strive for longevity in whatever you're doing. So that was kind of profound to me. I mean, it's one of those things you kind of know, you hear throughout your life, but certain things come and go in your life at certain moments when I guess you most need them, and they kind of just kindle a flame under your ass and they make you do stuff that is ultimately better for you. So that was one of the things. And then, of course, he's super inspirational to so many people, not just because of the incredible, insane shit he can do on a skateboard, especially at the time he was doing things, but also because just because the kind of person he is. Then today, I was watching a 2-hour video. I forget the dude's YouTube channel. I've been watching his videos for some time now, even though I don't know his name right now. Brain farting. It was talking about the prostitution that goes on in Las Vegas, Nevada. And one of the things that stuck out to me, that gave me the same kind of initial reaction that I was able to chain link to the initial reaction I had to Rodney Mullen speaking, was when the girl was detailing everything, but then she kind of just broke down crying because she had been a former prostitute. And when she started to break down crying, it was because she said she started to go into detail about how every time she had sex, she was actually looking for love, looking to be looked at as another human and not just a slab of meat. And that was profound to me because my girlfriend was going through the same thing yesterday. She was talking about how she doesn't appreciate the male gaze in terms of dudes looking at her just because they, are sexually attracted to her. And then I was like, well, that's just the way it is. It's human nature. It's biological. Like, even though I love you, like, there's still women that I look at and like, ooh, and then like the wheels start turning in my head. It's biological. But she's like, you just don't understand. And of course, I'll never understand because I'm not a fucking woman. But I thought it was interesting that deep down inside, even in a woman that sells her body for sex, they just want to be loved. And obviously there's so many factors that go into that, like having a traumatic childhood, not having role models, not having stable parental figures, that can lead to that type of road. But ultimately there's still something inside of you, some sort of biological yearning for love, and that feeling that everybody just wants to go home. Every kid just wants to go home. Everybody just wants to feel safe. They just want to feel nurtured. They just want to feel appreciated and given the amount of attention that they want. Because it's one thing to love something the way that you love it, but the way that you love something may not be the way that it wants to be loved. Maybe it's not enough. You have to love that something the way that it wants to be loved, which is something that's really important. It's like with skateboarding. Like, sure, I come out here 30 minutes to an hour, and I used to get bummed out that I'm not progressing as fast as I would like in comparison to some of my peers. But in reality, the reason Rodney Mullen got so good is because he spent 9 hours a day. Irregardless if he felt good physically or mentally, he came out here and still committed. And that was something that was also profound, that was prevalent in both of the videos that I watched with Rodney Mullen and the prostitution, is the power of belief. Rodney Mullen talks about how it doesn't matter how much talent you have, what few people tend to possess is the belief that they can do something that others perceive to be as impossible, and believing in yourself to be able to do it. Correlating that to the prostitution video, where women fall victim to the fallacy of fantasy that pimps produce. They tell them what they want to hear. They treat them all nice in the beginning. They buy them things. They're like, "Oh, I love you, and I'll never hurt you. I just want us to build a future together." And they buy into that because that's what they want. That's what they want to hear. And it seems so good to be true, and then they get caught up in that fantasy. That power of belief. Power of belief is so powerful. It's really something, because I was watching the movie Red Lights, which has so many fucking issues with it. I mean, how are you gonna have Robert De Niro, Sigourney Weaver, and Cillian Murphy and just completely shit the bed with the ending of the movie? Extraordinary. Anyways, the movie essentially has themes of the power of belief, which I feel like there's good stuff in there, but it doesn't execute upon the themes as well as it could. It could have had a Sixth Sense-esque type of twist, but it just completely shit the bed. But just the idea, the power of belief, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. Like what everyone kind of convinces themselves of on a daily basis, whether it's big or small. The power of belief, believing that whatever it is, I don't know. I just wanted to talk about it and expose it, and I suppose shed a light on it. I don't know, get people thinking maybe. Because in the end of the day, we all want to contribute something, whether it's to the people we love or the greater world. We all want to feel like we're contributing to the betterment of something. We all want to feel like we're an asset, but we want to do that through the vocabulary and language that has most influenced and inspired us and feels entrenched in our very DNA. For me, it's movies, music, and YouTube. I noticed when I watch YouTube videos of people talking about things, like video games in particular, I get very fucking frustrated because I'm like, oh, this person's a fucking idiot. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. But the jealousy that derives from that is because I don't have the same things that they have to express my opinion, which is why I don't put effort into editing videos like this. I just record it and upload it, opposed to my music videos, which is funny because I have one that I started editing and then I haven't touched for like a month and a half now. Not sure why, but yeah, nobody's perfect, man. I mean, I deal with my ego, I deal with, jealousy, deal with resentment, deal with anger, deal with fear, just like anyone else. My ego and my resentment was at a high a couple days ago. Sometimes I tell myself, "Oh, I'm the best songwriter in the past 20 years. Like I'm at least top 10,000 in the world, maybe even ever." But it's funny because it's fine if I tell myself that, if that helps me write, if that helps inspire me to write. But that's not something that I should say out loud, which I just did, because it obviously does not evoke humility in other people. Or it doesn't evoke the perspective of humility within others, which is a trait that everyone gravitates to, is humility, But I suppose my awareness is a step in the right direction of that. I just need to work on it a little bit more. But I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to talk about that. I felt like it was important. But I feel like that's all I gotta say for now. I'm gonna go skate. It's really nice. I got off work early. Sun's not super hot right now. It's kind of breezy. Dude's over there cutting grass. Smells amazing. Appreciate the little things, my friends. Everything is temporary. Your mindset, maybe your beliefs. You can be addicted to ideas and thoughts and beliefs just like you can be addicted to weed and cocaine and heroin. Be careful what you consume and be careful what you perceive and believe. Ultimately, just strive to be the best for yourself. I always refer to that one quote. Can't remember who the fuck says it, but I always refer to it. Yesterday I was clever and I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise and I want to change myself. If people choose to be influenced by how you live, then that's awesome. That's a blessing. But that's not something you can necessarily anticipate or expect. So, yeah, man. I'm all in my head. I'm like, oh, I hope people see this and they listen to what I'm saying and they think I'm so smart. Why does that fucking affect me? Why is that always something that I think about, how I want people to perceive me as being so smart? Maybe it's because something in my childhood. I felt so stupid in my childhood. I felt like everyone thought I was fucking stupid. So maybe throughout these years of my 20s, I've been trying to compensate for that. Those inadequacies. Because everything stems from your childhood. Literally everything. All your problems and all your aspirations and all your dreams and all of that. All your traumas. Everything stems from your childhood. So if there's something you can't figure out, try to go back in time and think about where it began. It's really hard, but that's why I try to keep my youth, my memories in fresh, intact as much as I can, because not even just the good ones, but the bad ones. Because you tend to forget the bad ones. Or at least, not necessarily forget, but repress. So, yeah, man. Smooches, I hope you have a good rest of your day.